Hello and welcome to Jordan's Journey Journal. My name is Jordan. Today's journal date is 09/29/2020 and today's date is 09/29/2020. This journal goes about my kid Lily. Not real, very metaphorical. I don't have a child right now, but maybe one day in the future. But the world's a little bit fucked right now, so we'll see. But it's nice to imagine and manifest things into existence. You know, I like to do it because I'm a little bit of a groovy character, but that's just kind of what it is. So I wrote her some stuff. Anyway, moving on to Jordan's Journey Journal. This one goes out to my Lily on the beach. The one that's as cute as a peach, but do not step because she will reach. For the scythe and death will see her tend to your garden where your headstone will be. And he will clap and I will cheer, but both of us will make sure to smile from ear to ear. She is the process and manifestation of rebirth, the one who one day may choose to visit this earth. But that is going to be up to God, death, and her. Lillith, Lavender, Alexandria, Alexandre, the flower that means rebirth and good luck. The one kid that stays with me, for she's the reason why I actually want to give a fuck. She's a sweet-toothed smile that I'm trying to see at the end of my day. The one that might, if she chooses to exist, and call me to make sure that Eli does pay. Here's to Lillith. May you rest easy, for I'm sure you'll be great, even if you don't come for days on days on days. I'm often obsessed about the future and how I want it to end up. Like Night Eye says, the future, if you look too far ahead, will become corrupt. You want to make sure to keep it fluid and lucid and make sure not to get lost in the dreams. Because reality is real as it gets being. You have to pay taxes, bills, and watch your loved ones die. You still have to take pills and sometimes occasionally cry. But that's what makes life so beautiful at the end of the day. The surprises that make everything in the end come out okay. Even if by the time I'm ready to have kids, which who knows when that will be, I still hope someone, maybe death, will remember my Lavender Lily. Wanting to know the future is always hard because we want a concrete base to stand on a path that's already blazed. But you can walk in any direction. All I'm saying is wait for space. And now, a short poem. To Lily, stepdaughter to death, may you open your lavender eyes wide and take your first breath. Your father doesn't know how much time you will have to exist or even if you'll make it to your first step. But know that he loves you, kid, no matter how long you wept. Walk easy and keep a scythe by your side, young space samurai. For the path is long and full of demons, but they can be turned to your side. Open your heart to the dark and watch them look at the glow in your eyes. If you hold in good under your skull cap hood, then in my mind, you're doing just fine. That was the journal entry, ladies and gentlemen. A hot 3 minutes-ish. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to dip, it is all good. If you want to stay for the recorded segment where I talk a little bit and it's on video, also all good. And then after that, the Patreon special. Make sure to donate because I could use some cash. I want to make this something in the end and hopefully have a blast. So without further ado, let's do the clap. Waka waka. The fuck is up? Yeah, so having this metaphorical daughter named Lily gives me and my brain a little bit of space away from everything else that's going on inside of it. Because I like to imagine the possibility of things being possible. I can feasibly see one day, the circumstances providing, and if cigarette or God doesn't kill me, that I might have a daughter, or I might have a son. So, why not try to manifest some stuff? Imagine if the day they got popped out into this fucked up world that we live in, they had an entire catalog of stuff that I wrote about them when I was 24 years old. Soon to be, by the way. October 1st. Stardust spooky season officially. And imagine if for some reason, God or death or whoever's out there was listening and was like, you know what? I like what that kid is saying. I'm going to put a little bit of juice into this pot, Lily's pot, and make sure that, you know, she kind of grows up, not with my vision, but with her own. And that's what I want. And that's what I would want for kids in general. My kids especially, you know. I personally think, as the music ends and will restart eventually, that, you know, having your own independence and being your own person and learning that it's okay not to go to college and it's okay, you know, to kind of be different and weird and like all this interesting stuff and maybe not so interesting stuff is completely fine and normal, in my mind at least. And I would want nothing more for my kid. But who the fuck am I? I'm a 23-year-old, soon to be 24-year-old dude who is just imagining a potential future where this metaphorical, metaphysical, astral child, the celestial, as I called it at one point in time, would want to exist. You know, but for all I know, I just pop out boys, you know, and Lily doesn't want to, and that's completely fine. I like to zhuzh up her story because I am trying to be more of a storyteller. I am trying to be more of a more hyperbolic-ish. That's not really the necessary word that I want to use, but more like I inflate the truth. That's why I say like she's the stepdaughter of death. You know, if I'm DTK, if I'm Death the Kid, she's the stepdaughter of death. You know, I like to think that she would maybe take up the role one day. You know, she'd be the chick to see me close my eyes and be like, I'll catch you on the other side, Dad. Something like that. It's something to look forward to because this world is so tragic in so many different ways. And I think having a kid that's like yours, and not necessarily yours as in it's your genes, but a kid that like gets you. Not saying that all of them do. Is something to be proud of. Because I would love to see, just for the pure curiosity of what the fuck I and my wife, you know, or whoever I choose to be with, pops out, you know. I feel like that would be just a crazy next chapter or even book to Jordan's story. And then to Lily's. And then tomorrow, if I'm feeling up for it, we talk about the dude. Because there's 2 kids. There was 5, but now there's 2. Reduced it down to 2. Lillith, Lavender, Alexandria, Alexandre, which is what I want to name her. And if my wife wants to change it, fantastic. You do you. Add more middle names, I don't care. I'm not going to remember them all. And then there is Xavier, Elias, Mortimer, Alexander. Because I think that is like the bossest like name like, what's your name, son? It's like, my name is Xavier Elias Mortimer Alexander. I am the Dead Sea motherfucker. Mortimer means Dead Sea. And there's a whole meaning behind that. Whole meaning behind Elias. And a whole meaning behind Xavier as well. It's beautiful, you know? I feel like, not necessarily like, you know, it needs to happen. For all I know, in 2 years I can be like, I'm over all that. I'm just going to focus on painting and kind of do my own thing, you know, learn to live existence. But as it is, but for this moment, for this time, for this hot second, I would personally like to imagine a future where I could potentially have kids, and potentially a future that they can live and exist and have their own. I was watching The Social Dilemma, and I'm looking at the news occasionally. The world is very fucked, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the world is very fucked, Chiefs. So the biggest question is, do you want to bring a new life into that? You know? And that's going to be the hardest thing for me. But as always, time will tell. And also to parlay with that, finding the right person who can put up with all my bullshit. Just saying. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Jordan Blabs On, the recorded segment of Jordan's Journey Journal. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Now on to the Patreon special that is not always going to be free, but for now, it's on the house, it's on me. Because I just like doing it too much. But remember, if you want to, support. All it takes is $1 and a good thumbs up. Anyway. Patreon special. Zemwa, my daughter. Woo! That's a new one. Not even like my God or what's up. Zemwa, how are you? Zemwa. Doing well. Chilling. Kicking back. Zemwa. You forgot the part to add God in there, that Zemwa, can you say it? Yeah, totally. She's hanging back with my version, or God, but my version of God. And she's teaching them how to fish. That's how they spend their days. Fishing. Zemwa. How's it going? Zemwa. Same shit. Zemwa. It's low. Zemwa. Your little adorable daughter. Zemwa. You know, you're crazy man. I am. I'm Connecticut certified crazy kid. And that will eventually be my Instagram title. Eventually, when I go back on. I saw the social dilemma yesterday. I was like, all right, this is it, chief. I'm out. Pull the eject cord. Like, goodbye. I'm gonna focus on art and DGC, and that's it. And DDR, and that's it. Zemwa. Anyway, I'm sorry, daughter. Zemwa. How are you? Zemwa. I'm doing really well. Zemwa. Something about her mother, but she doesn't want me to tell. Zemwa. So mother. Zemwa. What do you think of Pop? Zemwa. Too stupid. What? Big ass. Wise. I'm essentially calling me an asshole. Zemwa. But I love him anyway. Zemwa. His tongue's a little bit looser with this one. It's not as solid with God. I'm really making, that was weird. I'm really making it kind of up, because I haven't communed with this person. Remember, it's a form of channeling. It's a 50-50 compared to a complete body takeover, if that even is how it works. I don't really know. But Zemwa, tell me. Zemwa. How are you, my love? Zemwa. I love you so much. Zemwa. As you say Zemwa. I grow closer to you. Zemwa. I hope so. Zemwa. Fantasy is a really weird thing, but Zemwa. But you do it pretty well. Zemwa. You old storyteller. Zemwa. Around the campfire, Zemwa. The big old stick. Zemwa. Just to poke the fire. Zemwa. And that's it. Zemwa. Have you looked at the stars recently? Zemwa. There's more than you can even imagine and see. Zemwa. Then why haven't you come back to me? Zemwa. Because I gotta wait. I gotta wait for my timer to be up. Zemwa. As God says, we return to dust. Zemwa. And the song restarts. Zemwa. Excuse me as I light my cigarette. Zemwa. As I was saying, my love, Zemwa. Tomorrow, the sun, Zemwa. You want to. Zemwa. He cries. Zemwa. Because you don't give him enough love. Zemwa. I give him enough love. Zemwa. But he's a good boy. Zemwa. I do this to his head. Zemwa. I get in little scratchies. Zemwa. Little doggy boy. Zemwa. But you're not a dog at all. You're a man. Zemwa. Mr. Xavier. Zemwa. But the ladies call him Eli. Why? Zemwa. It's a boss name. Xavier. Elias. Mortimer. Alexandre. Like, woo. That's a killer name. I'm like, I wish I had that name. Zemwa. I'm just Jordan Dick Alexander. Like, really? Yeah, it's alright. Zemwa. It's mine. It's my own. Made it into a journal. Zemwa. As I often do. But Zemwa. But you know it's okay. Zemwa. I just want to send you kisses every day. Zemwa. And he does. Zemwa. He does. Zemwa. In his sleep, in his night. Zemwa. Every time he looks into the trees when we fight. Zemwa. He sees Zemwa. The ether, the beach. Zemwa. Sitting. Zemwa. And we just eat. What does that mean, basically? That means that at some point in time, Jordan just kind of deuces out from reality. It's not death, but it's more of just like a sending off party where Jordan completes all of the challenges of life and then eventually just leaves to be with his wife and start the next chapter, whatever that is, somewhere in the world. He has a vision of what it is and he hopes to achieve it one day. Zemwa, and you should do the same. Zemwa, remember, breaks need to be had, breaks need to be taken, but don't rely on a person to bring home the bacon. Zemwa, you speak with a wicked tongue. Zemwa, for you are so young. Zemwa, Mr. Almost 24. Zemwa, 23 was Jordan's age, but I'll tell you this once more. Zemwa, you love your wife. Zemwa, you love your kids. Zemwa, you kick the dog. Zemwa, no, that's not it. Zemwa, he loves more than he thinks. Zemwa, he's doing it for himself, so just give a wink. Zemwa, one day they will reach out. Zemwa, have no doubt. Zemwa, the energy that you manifest into this universe will come back tenfold. Zemwa, it takes a while for the starlight to reach you. It takes 8 minutes for that one to see you. Zemwa, and that's like in our universe? No, it's in our solar system, love. Zemwa, and it is the sun. Zemwa, my Xavier. Zemwa, my savior. Zemwa, the one that can carry on my name. Zemwa, a proud MFer. Zemwa, and Lily gets one more just because my mom came. C'est moi, c'est moi, c'est moi. I love to see her exist. I love to see her wrist. C'est moi, because not a cut she will see. C'est moi, why? Because she plays N64 like a goddamn OG. C'est moi, and even if the day does come, c'est moi, that she wants to own a gun, which is what? Dark. But listen, c'est moi, as he was saying, c'est moi, she will be okay. She will just think of it as fun. C'est moi. Explain. Do it as a joke to scare me. C'est moi. He thinks he'll have a beautiful life. C'est moi. He has no idea the strife. C'est moi, that will keep him up at night. C'est moi. Do a little bit of research into what Lilith actually means. C'est moi. There's a reason he names his kids these. C'est moi. But it seems, c'est moi. Tell me, c'est moi. Why did you name Lily Lilith and not like Lillian? C'est moi. Partially because of Rugrats, but number two is because I like the idea of Night Demon being her name in Greek. But c'est moi. It's up to her. C'est moi. I just choose Lily. C'est moi. My flower, that means rebirth. C'est moi, because I had 5 kids with my ex, with her. C'est moi. That was a story, a chapter, one that had to come to a close. C'est moi. And more and more and more will grow. C'est moi. The book is never done. C'est moi. It's even better when it doesn't finish. C'est moi. Because death is not the end, my friend. Death is just the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you on the next spaceship. Make sure to give your money to the man who owns the blues, because this shit right here is everything you need without T-Pain's auto-tune. C'est moi. One more? C'est moi. I want to hear what you got. All right, c'est moi. I haven't talked to God. C'est moi. You can. C'est moi. Even if you say it's your version of God, c'est moi. You old channeler. I prefer shaman, but c'est moi. But you already know. C'est moi. He has this tone, this flow. C'est moi. As long as the recording goes, c'est moi. He will stay and remain okay. C'est moi. So just wait till he gets paid. C'est moi. Just watch. C'est moi. And he does it for fun. C'est moi. This is the best part. That's why I'm like, just pay for it. Just pay like $5 a month and you'll get the Patreon special for free. You know? C'est moi. You have no idea what goes on inside of me. And by doing this, not this, said what goes on with my older tooth. The canine tooth, the one that was originally meant for tearing meat. You know, c'est moi. He uses it for me. C'est moi. But that's another story for another time. C'est moi. God. Your turn to rhyme. And I'm going to be late for work. Again. But I like to make this my job, you know, my friend. You know, one of my biggest idols is Casey Neistat, the man who figured it the fuck out somehow, living in California, no doubt. No doubt. He is my icon. He is my dude. And I have multiple presents wrapped in a death basket for him, but it is not for you. C'est moi. Cannot be sold, bought, borrowed, or buyed. C'est moi. Buy your guy. C'est moi. DGC. Watch out, because it comes from me. C'est moi. It's a lot of work, but it's from my heart. More than Chuck's is, actually. But this is my favorite part. C'est moi. When he looks into the camera, know that he's addressing you, the audience, my dude. The fourth wall over here that he talks to doesn't need a camera, doesn't need a face. C'est moi. Just know this, you're in the human race. C'est moi. This is the best part. This is why you pay. This is why he wants to visit you one day. C'est moi. Imagine being outside 368, you see the man doing his crazy dance, and all of a sudden you're like, shit, that's Jay? No, it's Jordan. Relax, don't shit your pants. C'est moi. He comes bringing gifts, not tears of death. Why c'est moi? Because DTK is more real than you think. He's not having the meth breath. C'est moi. He understands his place and position in this universe. C'est moi. But he chose to write it himself, not for her. C'est moi. Not Lily, not his ex, not his love, for God's love. Next. C'est moi. He wants to find someone that is his home. C'est moi. That will play with his hair and not rip it out like every single other fucking comb. C'est moi. Very hard journey. Very long indeed. C'est moi. But watch what he does with his mustard seeds. There's a story about how mustard seeds grow great trees. It just takes time. But on the surface, you look and you're like, oh shit, that's not enough. That won't be fine. Well, redwoods were acorns at one point in one day. And look how tall they grow. And look at the Planet of the Apes, the chimpanzees. Zemwa, swinging from the trees, but it was a very dark moment in Jordan's life. But Zemwa, he has to remember while he's looking at light. Light. That's alright. Zemwa, my boy. Zemwa, you pass. Zemwa. One a day. Zemwa. But don't bust your ass. Zemwa. People will listen. Zemwa, especially if you post. But Zemwa, how you gonna do that? Zemwa, and eat your breakfast toast. Zemwa. You have to keep it honest. Zemwa and pure. Zemwa. Raw is a different word, but try not to be too obscure. Zemwa. The Patreon special is something for the God inside of you. Zemwa. Beautiful kisses, my dude. Zemwa. Your skills. Zemwa. To storytell is some other goddamn shit. Zemwa, because he's always wanted to be a storyteller. You know, kid? I always want to be the old shaman around a campfire that people come to and be like, damn, man, you got some wisdom, Stan. And I'm like, understand, Stan. You stand too. Zemwa. So stand up and do you. Zemwa. Everybody's trying to follow the latest trends. I'm just trying to do me. I'm leaving my job eventually. Zemwa. I would rather do this every single day of the week. Sit, edit, smoke grass, but I can't do that. I prefer a different flavor of tree. Zemwa. Why? Because I know that death got me, and when I leave, it is my time. But Zemwa, remember my ending line. Zemwa. Death is a door to the next life, not necessarily yours or a restart in humanity, alright? Zemwa. That's from my eye. My Sharingan? Nah, I got OGs. Zemwa. They're called Jordans, but he took it from me. Zemwa. It's an interesting concept. Zemwa. To have eyes to be able to perceive. Zemwa. He always asks the question, Zemwa, why him? Why me? Zemwa. One day you will see. Zemwa, when you're on that beach, ready to be. I'll catch you guys. Remember, Roy Lars is on Mars, smoking bars that are not Xanax or Klonopin, so I'll catch you guys later. Just sip a little bit of gin. Remember, the truth's within. The truth is within. It's within. Anybody could do this. I'm in my fucking garage right now. It's amazing. It's immaculate, as Action Bronson might say. And in 2 days, happy birthday. 24. Mid-20s. Shit. Alright, send this off right. God. Zemwa. Fuck you want. Did I do alright? Zemwa. Every day of the week. Zemwa. This fucking kid. Zemwa. He just talks and just Zemwa. Gold flows out. Zemwa. I guess the lead that was put in your mouth. The Zemwa. Something. Just alchemist shout.